What's going on, everybody? It's Childish back at it again, coming at you with another Summoners War video. And in today's video, we got a very exciting one for you all. We're going to be doing the predictions for the 2022 SWC World Finals alongside WHYCUZIMAG, aka the world famous WHYCUZ. How we doing today?
What's going on, everybody?
Oh,
world
man.
famous.
World famous here. I got on my note. I literally wrote in my notes world famous because that's been the inside joke here. But no, honestly, guys, dude, it's a pleasure and honor to have you here, my man. We've known each other for many, many moons now, and I couldn't be more excited. 5 years now, 5 years to do this here. So the people are going to be asking, why in the world do we have WHYCUZ up in here? And I'm going to tell a little story before we jump into it. For those that don't know, again, we've known each other for 5 years. We've been able to see each other at a wide variety of events. I think almost every event since 2018, 2017. And the coolest thing that happened that I got an opportunity to do was at the 2018 America's Cup. I had an opportunity to sit alongside a lot of the competitors, a lot of the influencers that stopped on by. And, I got a chance to watch, obviously Thompson, do his thing up until I think the very end in 2018. I think he got knocked out by, was it Dreams Joseph? If you remember that?
2018,
yeah, 2018. And he had one of the coolest things that I got a chance to check out was be able to listen to all the endgame players, RT players that kind of, put their insights and whatnot. And definitely WHYCUZ, just, for the simple fact that he knows Thompson really, really good. It was cool to kind of hear his thought process, why Thompson did what he did, why he messed up at certain things. And I kid you not, guys, I thought that was enough to get me excited about. But I had an opportunity to watch him over the years at many various events here. And if you just listen to him to the sidelines, he literally calls every single thing somebody should do or should not do. And he literally, I don't think you've ever messed it up. If you have, I must be dreaming here, but you're on point with understanding people's thought process, why they do what they do, why they may, mess up the draft and why not win. So I think it's going to be really, really good to, like I said, get your thoughts, get your opinions on this so that people, when the new event comes out, and we know Compton's is going to drop the event here in this week or so, to get your predictions, because I think they're going to be pretty on point here. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, well, just a little quick introduction of myself is that, I've been playing the game for a long time, since the beginning, 2014. I've been playing at the highest level, both guild and, RTA side.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, I'm the leader of SSA, say swag again. So again, I've been in the guild for 5 years pretty much. So, like I said, I've always been, if not in, I've been around the top levels of the game. I participated in SWC prelims before. I've competed in the guild versus guild events. So I have a very good understanding and knowledge of the game. Unfortunately, my account is not as fortunate as a lot of others. And I don't got those crazy runes like everybody has. And, I don't have 30 LDs at my disposal. I've tried, though. I've definitely invested to try and get it. But, I still continue to invest. But I still try the best for what I have, But I think we have a pretty exciting SWC finals. My first statement about the SWC finals this year, of course, is no offense to any of the players, and I'm friends with a lot of them.
Here we go.
But this year is, if you want to win SWC, this year's the year. The competition is at its all-time low.
Yep.
And just looking at the list of players, I did watch every single match. I watched every single play of all the prelims, of all the regional cups. And I could tell you a lot of these guys that are in here got pretty RNG lucky to get in here.
Right.
So if this is the year, if you want to win, Gecki, I'm talking to you. If you want to win, this is your year to win. Truewell, if you want to win, this is your year to win, because it only gets harder from here on out.
That's right. Go Team USA. Go Team USA. Let's take a look.
We need some global representatives.
That's
man.
it.
Like, global needs to win, bro. These Asian guys are taking it down. The Asia Pacific's just taking it every year. It's not even fair anymore,
Yeah, this is going to be a great time to see it. Like I said, we have an interesting lineup here. I just got a chance to check out the actual reveal, the actual bracket reveal, which is where I got this picture for the people that are watching here on YouTube. And interesting turnout here, especially for this first match by Gecki, obviously the 2022 SWC America's Cup champion versus the Europe Cup runner-up Ismu here. So your overall take on this particular match here, and who do you got going into the semifinals?
This match has the most interest and feels for me, because Ricky's a good friend of mine, Gecki's a good friend of mine, and Ismu is a guildie of mine. So even though Ismu represents EU, his account is on the global server. Right. So basically, just a quick little background on how SWC, like where you play qualifiers works is wherever you live is what server you represent. So if you guys remember years ago, the guy Sai, then he changed his name to Tree. He was always on the Korea server, but he lives in California, so he represents global server all these years.
Right.
And then a guy like Ismu, he lives in Europe, but his account's on global. Because he lives in Europe, he participates for Europe. Just like another one, a very fan favorite, familiar guy is Big V, right? Big V is actually on the China server, but because he lives in Canada, he represents the global server as well.
Right.
So this one, I'm very good friends with Ricky for a lot of years, and Ismu is a guildie of mine. In terms of account strength, the favorite goes to Ismu. In terms of account strength, unit choice, monster box. In terms of really good player, I'm going to lean towards Ricky, and that's what's gotten Ricky this far, is because he's a very, very good player. And this year, when I watched him at New York in America's Cup live, he was literally 8 feet from me. I've been watching these cups since 2017, since the beginning. I have never once in my life seen somebody more focused.
Oh yeah.
There was, I'm pretty sure when he looked up, he didn't see anybody in the crowd. He just saw the wall in the back. Like he looked through everybody. He was like dialed in. Yeah. So if he can retain that focus, I think he has a good chance of beating Ismu. If he cannot, he will struggle a little bit because Ismu account is for sure stronger.
Right. So you got Gecki then moving on to the semifinals. Oh yeah, hey, put it out there. You got to put it out there now.
All right. I'd love to support my guildie, but above all, I have to support the global server.
Okay.
So and I think that Ricky could pull it off because Ricky did, beat some pretty serious competition to get where he is. I like Ricky in this one, but it's not going to be a washout, like a blowaway. It won't be a sweep. I'm thinking like 3-2 kind of win. It is going to be a very close win. It can go either way, though. This is probably the closest match.
I was going to say, and the crazy thing about it, I'm really interested to see how it turns out because obviously, like you already stated, right, Gecki's just been proven time and again to really hone down his account, regardless of, what limitations he has here. But in addition to that, on the Ismu side, Ismu, even though he's always been consistently doing good at these events, I feel like every single year he's getting consistently better and better, just playing better, making good choices. So I can't fault, for any of the choices you made.
Right. To caveat of what you're saying about Ricky, you got to remember something too. Like when you have limitations, a lot of times guys run into trouble because they have no limitations.
Sure.
Like Thompson runs into trouble because he has 1 million counters to 1 million units. Right. So I'll give you a quick example. Like if somebody picks Masha, right? You're right away. You're inclined to go, Shizuka. Right. If that's your only option, it's Shizuka or Bulwark, let's say, or Praha. So you're the master because you see Masha every game. So you're the master of Shizuka, Bulwark, Praha. You've mastered the art of countering Masha with those 3 units. You flip a guy like Thompson in the picture, he has Praha, Shizuka, Bulwark, 10 other LD options. So now when it's time to draft, and one thing I'll tell you guys straight up is that when you're on stage, that 30 seconds counts down really quick when you're picking units. And when you're thinking between 10 different units you could pick to counter, you might end up running out of time like Madream D did. You might pick the wrong unit. Or basically, if nothing else, you haven't mastered all 15 units against Masha. Yes, there's probably 15 units that are good against Masha, but you haven't mastered them all. Versus the guy like Ricky that only has 2 options. He knows exactly what he has to do, what it's going to do against the Masha. So it is an advantage, too, to be limited, And on top of that, because you're limited, if you have 10 rune sets, they're on your 10 best monsters. When you have 50 top monsters, those same 10 rune sets got to get spread across 50 different monsters. So your runes aren't as concentrated, so there is benefit to being limited too.
Oh yeah, most definitely. All right. So we got Gecki moving on to the semifinals. We'll take a look at match 2 here. Duchen versus Truewell. Of course, Truewell, our 2022 SWC America's Cup. I believe Duchen was from, was it APAC?
Right? Duchen is from APAC.
APAC alongside Umaru and Acero. Yeah. So yeah. Overall take on it now. Duchen, I did get a chance to see a couple matches here, but I didn't see all of his matches here. Did you get a chance to take a look at his particular match, his play style?
Well, Duchen actually shares a ragdoll. Duchen has a very strong account. Duchen is also not a first timer around town.
Sure.
The name's a little different, but not a first timer for sure. Okay. But against Truewell, again, anybody against Truewell, you're probably going to lean towards Truewell. And this will be the second closest match, I think, besides Gecki and Ismu. This match will be really, really close. Truewell does have a secret weapon that he recently pulled that I'm not going to disclose here because to keep it a secret weapon. So I think it'll bring a pretty big element of surprise to a lot of people watching. And it will give him a big edge in this match based on what Duchen likes to use. So this one, it really, because of the experience, Duchen could possibly be favorite because of experience, but Truewell's account is just, top of the top. You know what I mean? Like he is
he's up there.
He is in the top 1%. You know what I mean? Like he has a amazing monster box, including amazing runes, and he's been there before too, legend tournaments, this and that. So he's played at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not only is Truewell a brother of mine, so I have to pick Truewell, but again, it leans towards I'm really trying to get a global win for us out here, guys. So, but I do believe that Truewell does have the upper hand in this match. I think Truewell will go through and he'll have his rematch with Gecki from the America's Cup Finals.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. I can't wait. That'll be a good one here. For me, I obviously we got to go with Truewell as well. I ain't gonna lie. I know I'm getting a little ahead of the game here, but I'm actually excited. I'm kind of sad to see if they both Gecki and Truewell make it, that they're gonna go to the semifinals.
Yeah, I feel like they do it on purpose, where they put them on the same side, so they can't, it can't guarantee a global winner that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good game, right?
I think they do it on purpose. Right. But then if you say that, then I guess it doesn't hold true for Pinkroid and Ismu, right? Because technically it could be a Pinkroid Ismu final, so and that'd be WEU. So I don't know how it works, but supposedly it's random. I don't think it's random. I really don't believe it's random. It may appear random on the videos they make, but I really think they stage it for their own production value, because somehow, some way, when Thompson lost to Dreams Joseph in 18, Thompson fights Dreams Joseph in 19. Then all of a sudden, Thompson loses to Big V, and then all of a sudden, Thompson's fighting Big V in the first round of 2022. So I feel like it's always, and then right away, the playoff match is Thompson versus Truewell. Like, how does that happen? You know what I mean? Like, it is, even if it's random, it could happen, yes, but come on, the likelihood is not good. So I have a really big conspiracy theory about it. I'm glad being random.
I'm glad you pointed out, because I didn't realize when I was talking to Truewell in the interview that he was, talking about the previous matches that he did, and he mentioned the Big V and the Thompson and whatnot. So I was pressed out. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You did, fight him in the previous one. So yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
It's not. It's always like rigged somehow. All the SSA members on the same day, same bracket, same side last year. This year it's like that again with the SSA members or the people. It's just everything feels so rigged. It's not one thing or another. It's everything.
It's like the Temple of Witches in Summoner's War, right? They try to make it seem like you're gonna get close to that one, but it's like, no, man.
Yes, exactly. It stops on the monster, and all of a sudden, magically jumps one more.
Right.
Yeah, exactly that. I'm telling you, it's a little hairy, bro. It
is. All right, match 3 here. We got Tarj representing China alongside Umaru representing the Apex side. Umaru and Acero, of course, Acero's in the next one. We'll talk about him, but they obviously put a good show here. 2 different styles of play in my end. What do you think?
They both got kind of lucky. Yeah. Both the Japanese guys, Umaru and Acero, nothing against Japanese players, but even against Doctor, like Doctor picked perfect, played perfect, and he just got RNG'd out. You know what I mean? So that's the thing with this game. Like, that's why these predictions are always hard. That's why nobody's prediction page is 100% this year. Nobody's prediction page will ever be 100%, because whether you pick the favorites or not, you're never going to get it right, because even if it's a heavy favorite, no matter who it is, it could be me, G3 player fighting literally like a C1 player. If the C1 player procs 6 times and I proc 0, I'm going to lose. Yeah. You know what I mean? No matter how you look at it. So the RNG is still such a big part of it. So even though you're the favorite, you're only favored until RNG allows you to be. Right. You could click perfect like Doctor did. You could draft perfect. You could ban perfect. Make every perfect move, But if Praha procs out, AoE sleeps and heals her team, Annabelle procs and AoE cleanses her team. Right. Things like that just 100% turn the tides of the game. And some things that happen in the game, there's at any time Shizuka procs once, you can never recover from that. You know what I mean? Right. So being a favorite and all these accounts, nothing against these accounts. Yes, there's better accounts and worse accounts in this list, but they're all pretty well-runed, well-efficient, high accounts. So any little bend in RNG can make a big difference. Like when I'm talking about a G3 fighting a C1, it would take like 6-8 procs to actually make a complete difference. When it comes down to this, 1 or 2 procs, the whole tide has changed. You know what I mean? Because these accounts are at that level where they're up there. These are all the top accounts.
Right.
Little less top than previous years. So like I said, this year's the year to win. If you want to win, Gecki, Truewell.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's still a really strong field, But in terms of the Tars and Umaru match, I got some inside info that Tars is not going to Korea.
Oh wow, no kidding.
So Tars is gonna be playing from China home.
Wow.
Here's the thing: when you're playing from home, now I have tons of conspiracy theories for playing from home.
Right.
For example, you're looking at me right now, right? On the camera, you're looking at Childish on the camera. Do you know if there's somebody standing in front of Childish's face coaching him right now? Do you know if there's somebody standing in front of me telling me what to say to you guys right now? You don't know, right?
Right.
So when you're playing from home, you have that edge. The second edge, you don't have to face a crowd. It's nerve-wracking being on stage. You're chilling when you're home in your underwear. You know what I'm saying? You are chilling. You are more relaxed than ever. Yeah. Not only that, all I got to do is look at you like this. You can't tell if I'm playing the game or not. It could be somebody else playing your account. It could be somebody else coaching you on your account. Right. You can have 9 people on a Discord call with you telling you what to do during your pick ban and draft. So I feel like there's a lot of hairy potential cheating assists, from the outside when you can play from home. See, when you're on stage, you're all alone. It's a lonely place up there.
Yes,
you got a million people staring at you. There's 100 cameras on you. The lights are on. The heat is on. You're home, you are chilling, and you don't have to play. You don't have to be the one playing. And even if you are the one pressing the buttons, there's people telling you what to press, people pressing them for you. You know what I'm saying? So being at home is a completely different animal, but I don't think he's home on purpose. I believe that the story is that because China has all those lockdown situations still going on, he's not allowed to leave the country. Sure. And there's some truth to that, because if you guys know, but I'm a pretty high-level pool player. So I'm friends with a lot of, professional pool players and things like that. So China, men and women, are of the top of the world in pool. And they haven't been at any competition in the last 4 years, 4 years because of COVID. Yeah, because they can't leave the country.
Oh, sure.
So they've fallen down in all the rankings just for the mere fact of them not playing. Like the best woman player in the world is actually from China. But she actually has a similar rating to men players. And of course, there's always a gap between men and women because of the break, because men are, naturally built, stronger, not a sexist comment, but they're just built stronger. So that break gives them a big edge. So there's very few women that can actually compete with the top men. There's one Chinese girl that can compete with the top men, but she hasn't played in 3 years outside of China. So there is some truth to that Tar story that he can't, he might not be able to leave the country. But it's a big edge when you're playing from home, because just if nothing else, if there's no cheating, let's just say, which I firmly believe there's a lot of assists out there when you're playing from home. But even if there was no assisting and nothing like that, just the fact that you don't have a crowd staring at you and the cameras aren't on you and you're literally sitting in your underwear, that is so much more comfortable. Ask any RTA player, they play way better at home in their underwear than on stage. Anybody you ask, So I think Tars has a big edge because of that. I also think Tars is a better account and Tars is a better player than Umaru. So I think Tars is 100% the favorite into this in this particular match.
Okay, I like that pick. All right, match number 4 here: Pinkroid, the Europe Cup champion, versus Acero here. I feel like you're gonna agree with me here. I can't see an outcome that doesn't scream Pinkroid in this spot. For me personally, I've really enjoyed his drafting ability. I think he just adapts perfectly. He's one of the few peoples out there that literally doesn't need all 30 seconds to do his match. He picks so quickly and he picks fairly correctly. He rarely makes a mistake.
The thing with Pinkroid is, first and foremost, he has very good RNG, which helps a lot. Okay, but he is a great player. Nothing against the guy. He's a fantastic player. He has great runes. He has a great account. He's fantastic at drafting. And the one element you get from Pinkroid that you won't get from anybody else on this list is called the element of surprise. Yes. He'll always pick something weird. something you don't see, something mysterious. Yes, there's meta monsters. I get it, right? Oliver, Masha, Shizuka, Dominic, Nana, you know, Moore, you know, Chung Pong. These are your meta units. Everybody plays the ladder all day long, and they deal with meta units.
Right.
So now everybody has a counter, some kind of answer to a meta unit. The biggest thing in this game, and this goes for Siege, this goes for RTA, I feel like the best success you could have, aside from just being a better account, is the element of surprise. Like, if a guy picks Masha, I know how to respond. The guy picks Oliver, I know how to respond. The guy out of nowhere picks a random unit like Helena, let's say. How do you respond to that? You know, the Antares picks. How do you respond to that? You know what I mean? Like, so the element of surprise, whether it's a not common unit or it's a common unit that's runed differently, you know what I mean? Like, things like that will throw people off. And when you see a non-common unit, I mentioned earlier in the video that, you know, 30 seconds ticks past really fast when you're on stage. It ticks even faster when you get surprised by a strange unit. You know, because when you see an Oliver, oh, I'm gonna pick Masha, or I'm gonna pick Moore to get a speed lead back. When you see something strange, you have to be like, oh my god, what is that? If it's something super strange, you might have to look at what the skill even does. And then there you go, you lost 15 seconds already. And now you have to find a response to it, you know? So Pinkroid brings that element of surprise. He plays really well, nothing against him. His RNG is really good. I don't see an outcome where Acero gets out of this, because Acero really lucked his way through. But I am a little jaded because after APAC, I was ranked 50 this season in this early season RTA. I queued into Acero 6 times, and he beat me all 6 times.
Man. Why are you boosting him, bro?
He emoted me the whole time. I boosted him.
You boosted him so good.
He emoted me nonstop. He was real toxic. I don't know why. I don't know what I did to him. But his Masha and Dominic procced every turn, every game. It was like you can't make it up. But if he has that kind of RNG, nobody's gonna beat him. But I think Pinkroid is the one guy that can counter that RNG. And again, like I said, aside from RNG, Pinkroid is a great player. So I think Pinkroid got a little fortunate, and he has the easier side of the bracket too. So
and if one of the questions that I was gonna have later on with you, like who was the one that was gonna bust out, you know, like something that you probably never seen. It kind of reminds me of like a big V move or whatnot. And out of the players that we have there, Pinkroid for sure was my pick.
The one that's going to put that mystery pick, that weird pick. Like I said, because you could throw the guy off 15 seconds, you probably won that draft. You know what I mean? Because the guy's now the guy's stressing and pressured. You know.
Yep, for sure. All right, let's take a look at moving back up there to the semifinals. We are assuming that Gecki and Truewell will take it down here. So now you got to make the decision once again. Who moves on to the finals in your opinion?
2 brothers of mine, 2 guys from the global server. I firmly believe that Ricky is so focused that he's going to be really, really tough to beat. But I think after losing to Gecki at America's Cup, Truewell's going to come back much more prepared for Ricky's account. And I really think that Truewell should be able to pull it off this time. Because if I had to be honest, in terms of account strength, it's not even close. But in terms of player level, Ricky is a stronger player, 100%. But Truewell's account is stronger, 2,000%. You know what I mean? Like his account is like these 2 accounts. It's not even like they shouldn't even be in the same conversation. No offense to Ricky, but they should not be in the same conversation. You're talking about a complete monster box with 30 plus LDs versus a very incomplete monster box with 4 LDs. You know what I mean? The rune level is not the same. Truewell's runes are. So Ricky has probably the best artifacts and runes on his Juno and Praha, so they do ridiculous damage. But like Truewell has ridiculous runes on a lot of units. You know, so if Truewell can really prepare himself for Ricky, I think I have to give Truewell the edge here. But regardless who wins out of that match, I'm not upset. You know what I mean? I'll be happy with if either one of them win, but it's gonna be a tight one. And it's like even though Truewell's like super favorite account wise, the best it'll be is 3-2. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be
it's not going to be a washout. So
not going to be a washout.
Funny enough, I had I in my side little thing as well. I actually had Truewell taking this one as well. And the thing of it was it was actually based off our conversation. I got a chance to interview both of these competitors last week. And, one of the things that Truewell mentioned is, like you said, he was not prepared. He literally told me that he didn't really start to get a look at stuff until like a day or two prior to. I'm like, are you serious, bro? He's like, yeah, no, I didn't. Wasn't doing it. I'm like, man, if he took the time, like anybody, if he took the time to prepare as much as some of these other competitors
I don't
do.
think he disrespected Ricky. I just think that he didn't think in that field that Ricky was gonna, come out on top. You know what I mean? So like, he had bigger, like, no offense to Ricky, he had bigger fish to worry about.
Yeah.
Literally bigger whale fish to worry about than Ricky. He had to go through a couple whales himself. Being Truewell, he still had to contest against a couple whales. So like, I don't blame Truewell for being more focused on the guys he had to beat, and then worry about Ricky later. Because technically, as I'll tell you the truth, this Truewell's very disappointed he didn't win America's Cup. Okay, but he also accomplished the goal by making it to finals. You know what I mean? Like he got through the work to get to finals. So like, that was, in my opinion, not in his opinion, because he thinks, him not beating Ricky, he's very upset. But I think like he did what he needed to do already. And now worry about world finals. Because first and second wasn't a big deal. It wasn't a big money deal difference. It's more of an ego pride difference. Yes, I get it. But you can't prepare yourself for 5 different people on one given day. You know what I mean? It's just too much. So he did what he had to do.
Yep, and he got there, and he's going to be going. Yep. All right, so we got Truewell moving on to the finals here. Let's take a look at the semifinals on the bottom end here. We're saying Tars versus Pinkroid. Yes,
Tars and Pinkroid.
I'm saying Pinkroid.
I mean, Pinkroid is.
It's kind of hard not to.
He's 100% the favorite, but again, that whole element of playing from home, not having pressure, possibly being coached, possibly being assisted. You can never count Tars out, because his account is really strong too. Tars is a strong account. It's not like a joke account. It's a top tier account. But again, that coaching from home, it's a big deal. But Pinkroid is just a super smart. He's young. So when you're young, the coconut just turns faster. You just like when you're young, like it's different. Like I'm sure you've been gaming pretty much a lot of your life. And when you were younger, you were definitely more the gamer then than you are the gamer now. Like I don't care what you tell me. I don't care what game. Even if it was Tetris, you know what I mean? Like you'd be better at Tetris when you're younger than you're at now. No matter how you look at Pac-Man, it could be anything. Like you were definitely better when you were younger. Same with me. I was top World of Warcraft player back then. Rank 1 Gladiator, multiple seasons. Things like that. But now, if I play World of Warcraft, I'm useless. But the fingers don't work. Arthritis, bro. I'm gonna start cramping. You know what I mean? So like that young brain, bro. It's hard to compete with a young brain. He is for sure the young brain out of the whole group. I don't know how old the Japanese guys are, but I really think that Pinkroid is definitely the youngest one in the field, and the kid's smart. He plays good, and truthfully, a big edge that Pinkroid has and is because he plays on so many different accounts and things like that. He gets to test every unit at every different speed level. So like, let's say I want to try Juno, right? If I want to try 190 speed Juno, I have to rerune. If I want to try 180 speed Juno, I have to rerune. A 170. Maybe I want to go really slow in Bruiser Juno. I use a 120 Juno. I'd have to rerune and test all those things. Because he's playing and helping so many people, he gets to feel all these different speeds without even reruning. So he knows, I think Juno's best at 146. You know what I mean? Just things like that. And that gives Pinkroid such a big edge when it comes to the competition, because he gets to try so many things, and he's, he plays so many wings a day that just based on that, he has so much experience. Like you do all your wings a day, you do 30. He's doing 120, 150, 180 wings. Like he's playing so many games a day that he has seen every combo, every unit, every outcome, every bad RNG, every good RNG, so that experience of actually being in it all the time is a big deal, and I think Pinkroid definitely has the edge on Tars in that sense. But again, Tars playing from home is kind of a big deal. We'll see how it plays out. It may help him, it may hurt him, because sometimes somebody in your ear is not always beneficial. You know what I mean? Because nobody knows how to play your account better than you, or supposed to be that way. But somebody, you have an idea what to do, and then somebody goes, oh, maybe you try this. You pick that, throws your whole draft up, and you lose. So technically, it could be more harm than it is help. But when you're under pressure and you got a couple guys cheering you on in your ears, it relieves a lot of that pressure. So don't count Tars out, but I do give the edge to Pinkroid.
Okay. I like it. I like it. So now moving on to the finals here, we go Truewell versus Pinkroid. I think as
this is tough. This is tough for Truewell.
This is very tough. Here's my take on it. As good as Pinkroid is, I think if RNG is a factor, his RNG is going to run up at the finals here. I think Truewell takes it all.
You have to favor Truewell based on account strength because you can't rely on RNG, right? So RNG is either good or it's bad, right?
Yeah.
Or it doesn't exist. There's games where you don't see any procs, or you see games where it's really fair. One proc me, one proc you, one stun me, one stun you. One strip you, one reset me, one resist, things like that. So RNG you can't count it as an initial factor. So initial, Truewell has the edge over basically anybody in the field because his account is just at a different wavelength. It's at a different tier level. Pinkroid has great runes. Pinkroid has one really great LD unit, but they both share it, Tian Lang. So in terms of account, like Truewell is like above and beyond because of the monster box. Pinkroid has great runes, like I said, but great units also help a lot. So no matter what, before RNG is factored in, Truewell is gonna be the favorite. When it comes to RNG, from what I've seen in the past, Pinkroid's RNG is better than Truewell, so he has an opportunity there to suck back some points on his end. But I think it's a very close match. Anybody could win it. Both, one really great account versus one real big brain, smart, quick, young guy. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's really like the clash of two different worlds. You know what I mean? And it could really end up either way. So. I'm gonna first off give the edge to Global, to Truewell, because the account strength is the first factor, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
That's the first initial thing, because RNG you can't count on it, right? You can't rely on it. So without counting or relying on RNG, I'm leaning towards account, and the account strength goes to Truewell.
Okay, sounds good, man. That's some interesting takes there. Again, though, I ain't gonna lie. Like I feel like this is pretty on point. That's a good thing about this prediction thing is, we only have 3 choices, or 4? I can't do the math here, but just a handful of choices to make here. And so, chances of us getting this correctly, you getting it correctly, it's gonna be pretty good here. We'll have to see.
I think we both have similar opinions on it, but because you're picking all the favorites on paper, it never ends up that way. Right. So chances are you probably should pick somebody Japanese because they're the least favorite to me. But every time my least favorites always end up winning. So I mean, don't rely on my prediction. I'm just giving you the best predictions based on account levels because I fought all these guys before, but RNG is RNG and anybody could win at this stage.
You're right.
It's already deep enough that anybody could win.
You're absolutely right. So if you guys are watching here on YouTube, I need y'all to do me a favor. Leave a comment in the comment section down below telling me your predictions for the 2022 SWC World Finals. I cannot wait to hear it. Can't wait to see these matches here in about 9 days or so. So again, Truewell. Oh my God. I looked at you and said Truewell. Oh no. Fail.
Pretty similar.
Yeah, pretty similar. Why? Because thank you so much for coming on board and doing this video with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man. And like I said, it's great doing stuff with you. I've known you for 5 years. No problem. I've enjoyed doing these videos and things like that. And hopefully my predictions are right if you guys follow mine. Yeah. And if you don't follow mine, then hopefully my predictions are wrong.
Yeah.
I will be live in Korea watching it. So I'll be the first one to see it live in living color.
Yeah.
Hopefully Global can bring it home for us, guys. And if they can't, I guess there's always 2023, right?
Right, there is. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Once again, show your support, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We will see you all in the next one. Take care.